you are looking for tips for starting a book talk, watch this video. Don't mind my MacBook here. I'm just going to be looking at my notes. So I'm going to start with talking about tips for starting your account, setting it up, how to grow it when you are just starting. If you already have an account and you want to get some tips on how to grow it because you feel stuck, go to this time. And at the end of the video, I also have some timeless, easy, fast videos to make. Tips for starting your account. I can make a whole separate video on why you should, but this is just assuming you already know you want to. First off, I recommend picking a niche. I know book talk is technically a niche, but it's huge. It's a huge community. There's big fandoms, there's small fandoms, there's books that don't even have a fandom. I just recommend having a smaller niche within book talk. So for me, when I first started, mine was the series Boys of Tom. I chose it because one, it's pretty popular, a lot of people like it, but it's not the biggest series. Just truly love it and I know a lot about it, so I just already had so many ideas about it. And I recommend you can do it off your favorite author, your favorite series, or even things more broad like romance books, fantasy books, or just YA dystopia and things like that. And as you grow, you can definitely change it and adjust it. I don't want you to feel trapped in it, but for now I think it's a good place to start. And just to clear something up, you do not need to have read 1 million books this year. You don't even need to be reading every single day to create a book talk. You just need to love reading and you need to at least love one book, or honestly you can hate one book. I don't recommend posting millions of negative videos out there, but it's the truth. You could literally, you just have to like one book. It doesn't even have to be popular, and there's literally millions of content ideas you can make around that one book. I recommend making your profile picture a picture of you. I just think that as a viewer, people find you more relatable and real when you have a face. If you are a faceless account, which is totally fine, especially when you're first starting out, it's scary to make book talk videos. I know it can feel cringe, I know it can feel scary, and you don't want to show your face. You don't want people you know to see this, and that's 100% fine. I recommend my favorites, if you don't want to show your face, are either just pictures of pretty books, like literally just take a photo right here of these books. That would be a perfect profile picture. Lay out your books on your bed. That's perfect. You can recreate these faceless photos. And if you don't feel like taking a picture, obviously don't steal someone else's picture or face. Do not steal anyone's face. But you can look up on Pinterest, book talk profile pictures, and you can find a bunch of animated ones like this, and I've seen a lot of people do these. I actually had one in the beginning. I can try to find a photo of mine, which I changed pretty quickly. I also recommend that in your bio you put something super short and sweet. You want it to be something that people can relate to, so they will be like, that's very real, that's really, I like that too, so then they'll follow you. And you also want it to be something relating to your content, so you're not misleading people. Some good ideas is if you love the author Emily Henry, you can say Emily Henry lover, or any other author you like. You can put fantasy reader or another genre you like, or even just no spice reader or spicy reader. My next tip is follow everyone, get mutuals or moots. So that's basically just someone that you follow and they follow you back. These are really important when you're first starting because of 2 reasons. One, they're going to support you. A perfect mutual would like, comment, repost, put on their story, everything. But even then, another big important reason that you have these mutuals is because it gives the algorithm a second set of viewers that can see your videos, because not only are your videos going on the For You page, they're now also going to the friends page or friends category of the For You page, and that just means all of your mutuals will see your videos, and that just means you'll get a lot of love. Mutuals will treat you how you treat them, so like, repost, comment everything, share everything, and they will do the same to you, is what I found. You can get mutuals just by following people. You can get mutuals by commenting, let's be mutes, let's be mutuals. I'm not saying DM people. I'm not saying give your phone number, your Snapchat, any personal information like that at all. I don't really DM any of my mutuals, only because of like personal safety reasons. But like, yes, I'll interact on their videos, like commenting and whatnot. And then my last tip for starting an account is make a lot of posts on your first few days. So I recommend this for any account, especially for YouTube. But yeah, so I recommend trying to have at least 3 videos posted within the first day, and then at least 10 within the first week. And this is just because when people find your video and they like it on their For You page and they want to follow you, they're most likely, instead of just following you right away, they're going to go to your page. This is when all the things add up: your profile picture, your bio, your amount of videos posted, all those things. The more posts you have, the more people are going to be like, oh, they're more reliable, they post consistently, they're worth my follow. Because you're trying to find mutuals, you just follow everyone. But as a viewer and someone who watches a lot of book talk content, before you follow someone, you're gonna want to go to their page and just see how much they post. It's kind of just something that you naturally do. So I definitely recommend just posting the first day or first week. But once you get to those first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks, first month even, then I really recommend slowing down and getting into a consistent schedule. It doesn't have to be certain times, but just knowing how much you want to post a day, or maybe you have a day a week that you don't post, but I'll get into that later. Now, here are my tips for if you have any account and need help growing. And if you guys skipped ahead, hi, welcome back. Okay, so my first tip is going along with my last one, but stay super duper consistent. I know everyone says this, but it truly is important. For the first 4 months of my account, I honestly posted not even once a day. Being consistent can look different for everyone, so just find whatever works best for you and just keep doing it. I would say at least for 2 weeks, and then if you feel like it's too much, stop. If you feel like you can post more, gradually grow instead of just post 5 times. If you want to see what happens when you go from posting 3 times a day to 5 times a day for a week, you can check out last YouTube videos. I have a whole vlog about it, and I go really in depth on what the importance is of posting frequently and staying consistent. I post currently 2 to 3 times a day, but a good place to start is only once a day. Next tip, again, a lot of people say this, but some of your videos are gonna flop. It's just the natural thing. And here's where a lot of people get burnout. When you're first starting, a lot of your videos are gonna do really good, and then all of a sudden you're 2 months in, 3 months in, and you're just like, where did my viewers go? I have 100 followers, but I get 2 likes every single day. Like, where are my mutuals at? Like, all of these things. And that's just 100% normal, and it's gonna happen. And the best thing to do is just keep persevering. TikTok's gonna notice that, and they're gonna continue to push your videos. So just post every single day. Now, if your videos are still stuck in 200 views after staying consistent, here is what I would recommend. Most likely this just means that your video is hitting only your followers and not newer viewers, or aka the For You page. So the best thing to do is get a better hook, because what TikTok will do, it'll show a bunch of people. So that's kind of like the test. That's mostly like the first 50 to 100 viewers. And if people just keep scrolling because there's not a good hook, then TikTok's gonna be like, oh, this video is kind of done and not gonna do anything. So they'll kind of stop pushing it. Secondly, use more specific and better hashtags. So right now on TikTok, you can only put 5 hashtags, which is bad, but at the same time, it helps you really dial it down. So a good rule of thumb, let me just grab this book. What book is this? Fake Skating by the wonderful Lynn Painter. If I were to post a video along the lines of, I love this book, a good rule of thumb is 2 broader ones and then 3 specifics. So 2 broader ones could be book talk and book review. Then the 3 more specific ones, maybe Lynn Painter, Fake Skating, and then maybe one of your main characters. So that would be Alec and Danny, something along the lines of that, just naming the characters. I find that those videos do really well, opposed to just For You page, viral, make this blow up, whatever. Those kind of just will push to anyone, and then these people aren't your right audience, and then they're just like, books? I don't read books, and they just scroll. Next tip is look at TikTok Studio. For the longest time, I'd always hear look at TikTok Studio, and I don't know why I thought this, but I just thought it cost money. That's so stupid. It does not. If you already have TikTok Studio and you're unsure what you can gain from it, the best places I recommend looking that are pretty easy to navigate are best times to post, kind of like within that time frame, I guess. It will rate 10 of your most popular videos that week or month or whatever. Say it's a book review, then you can be like, oh, book reviews do really good, let me keep pushing them out. Maybe it's a certain book like Binding 13, then you create more content about that. One that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, which I honestly think is really helpful, see who else your followers follow. And that does not mean copy their content or anything like that. That doesn't mean just put their name in a hashtag, no. And usually it's going to be a bigger creator or a brand. So if it's Netflix, maybe you post, I'm so excited for this book adaptation on Netflix, or I hated this book adaptation on Netflix, or I wish people would stop making adaptations, or I wish that more people love them because they're so good. Anything like that, whatever, move on with it. Next tip, don't delete videos. Again, a lot of people say this, but some of my best performing videos have literally taken months to gain traction. They were sitting at 200 views for 3 months straight, and then randomly one day I get a like and it hits the For You page, and all of a sudden I'm getting likes and likes and likes, when if I deleted it 2 months ago, then I would have never gotten this traction. If you really do want to take a video down, maybe it's because your opinion changed or you posted something you didn't want to post, just private it. For my last 3 tips kind of go together. So don't be afraid to try new content and trends. I know I said stick to a niche, and I know most people do, and it's going to be scary to change because you're like, everyone's going to unfollow me and no one's going to like my videos and I'm going to flop. Yes, you might flop for a little bit, but it also might be the greatest thing you've ever done. So yes, being in a niche is important. Yes, doing trends are important, but if you want to try new things, just try new things because you're not going to regret it. Going with that is only post things you love, not things you hate. Make videos that you would want to watch, because if you're making videos like, oh, it's cute, it's aesthetic, but I wouldn't actually follow, then what makes you think that you're gonna get followers from that? Me personally, this was the main reason I switched from a faceless account to showing my face on TikTok, is because I was talking to my mom one day and I was just like, oh, I'm flopping. And she was like, well, would you follow yourself? And I was like, now that you say it, no, I wouldn't, because I think that faceless videos are aesthetic and they're pleasing to watch, but would I follow them? No, I want to see people's face. I want to hear talking videos. So then she was like, well, why don't you just make that? And then lastly, going back to the trends, this is one of the biggest tips I started doing. TikTok choose your audio. So I'm sure you kind of remember that trend where it was like you would take a photo of yourself and your friends, and then you would let TikTok give you an audio, and like they were just funny and whatever. I recommend this. So if you're doing, obviously if it's like video about a certain song, keep that certain song. But if it's just like a audio, if it's a video that doesn't require sound, so maybe it's just like a book haul or book recommendations or just an outfit of the day, anything like that. Once you film it in silence, it's going to give you a recommended sound. Obviously, if you hate it, don't do that. But if it's pleasant to you and you somewhat like it, I would recommend keeping it. TikTok wants to help you. And TikTok, one, knows what's doing well among everyone on TikTok, but it especially wants to help you with your own audience. So it knows what your followers like. It's going to be like, oh, let me help you out, give you that extra push. And I used to not keep it. I'd be like, oh, I want this trending audio. Oh, I want this super niche song that I love. No, choose what TikTok gives you, because they're putting down what you need. You just need to take it and run with it. Lastly, I'm just going to say my top 5 timeless, easy, fun video ideas. So my first content idea is a little bit hard to explain. So I'm going to use Binding 13 as an example because I know this book like the back of my hand. Okay. So you're going to want to scroll through those recommended audios that TikTok gives you. My best thing to do is I just listen to it. And if I'm like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of this book, that reminds me of this trope, that reminds me of this couple, then I will just hold the book, lip sync to the audio, or put the book on my bed, just take a photo of the book, whatever. If the song is Honeybee by Olivia Rodrigo, I just put the song, put the book, and then I just say, this song is so Johnny and Shannon. This song reminds me of Binding 13. Literally like that. I find they do really well and they're so easy to make. And I like to do this thing called like stocking up on drafts. I know it's not a uncommon term, but just make a bunch of drafts at once. I call it draft maxing. I know that's cringy, but to me I think it's funny. So I just like to make a bunch of drafts at once, and that's just a really easy way to get content. And I find that those videos are really easy to make, and not a lot of people do them. And I wish more people did, because I personally like watching them. Book recs, seasonal for specific people. Like, I'm not too into astrology, but I am a Leo, and I like seeing book recs for Leos. So if you guys like astronomy, please post them, especially for Leos. But anything like that, books for hopeless romantics, books for spicy readers, books for hockey girls, books if you like off campus, books if you like Lynn Painter but you want spice, whatever, things like that. Those are really easy to do. Okay, now next is going to be reading wrapped. These I recommend. I like watching the talking ones only because I prefer talking videos, but slideshows are really easy to make. You can do those, and these are basically just when you say what books you read and how much you've read in a certain time period. So that can be reading wrap of the month, of the year, of the season, whatever, kind of like that. I really like those videos, and those are kind of things that you can turn into a series, like monthly, yearly, whatever. One is like one that I really like watching as a viewer are bookshelf tours. I find them super aesthetic to watch. I find them super cute. I love room inspo, so it's just perfect for me. They do perfect. They're so cute, and I eat them up. Okay, and tag me, actually. Grace loves reading TikTok. Tag me if you make these videos, because I love to see them and I want more mutuals. The last one, plain, simple, and classic. I recommend this one if you're interested in getting publisher mail that I've not yet received, which I would love. But if you're more interested in getting publisher mail, I recommend putting book reviews. A lot of publishers will look for those because when they're sending out ARCs or advanced reader copies, they're really just wanting them to get advertised. And although you can make all these beautiful advertising videos, they really are looking for book reviews. They want those. So make book reviews when you finish books. This should be easy. I mean, this can be, again, like text, or it can be you talking, which I prefer. And these can be pretty easy because if you love a book, you probably have so much to say about it. And if you hate a book, yeah, there's probably a lot of reasons you hate it. So I think those are pretty simple, easy, and people like them. That's it with this video. Thank you so much to the person that requested this. I've been wanting to make it for a while, but I did feel a little bit entitled to do it because I don't have a huge following, but I'm very honored that you guys thought I was worthy to make it. Let me know if you guys want a video with other tips. I have so much more. Let me know if you guys want a video on why you should start, because I have a lot of reasons on why I think people need to make book talks and why I think book talk's great, because I know a lot of people don't like it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video gave you some motivation to keep posting and keep pushing through. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this. Okay, bye guys.